Hello and welcome. Today we're working on the managerial accounting, the full course. We're in the chapter 14, the financial statement analysis chapter, and we're going to do a common size on a balance sheet. The previous video we did a common size on the income statement. So if you're new, my name is Jeff from Finally Learn. I teach a lot of accounting, a lot of finance, and so please like, comment, subscribe. Let's get started. So here is our setup. We have a balance sheet that has 2 years, so it's a comparative balance sheet. We're going to do a common size analysis. We're going to round the percentages to 1 decimal, and we're going to figure out, what's the most responsible for the increase in assets and liabilities. So here we have our assets. We have basic assets here that are cash, accounts receivable, inventory, prepaid, and these are all the current assets. And then we have some long-term assets, plan assets. Net means we've taken depreciation out. So this is all the plan assets minus depreciation. We're not going to show the accumulated depreciation here. So here we have the second year and then the first year to the right. So 2030 is the current year, and then 2029 is the previous year here in this problem. Now, the same thing with liabilities and equity. Now, here's the secret. Common size says, look, it's hard to compare maybe two different balance sheets that have a different total assets. This one has a little bit under 400,000. This has 450,000. This could be in millions. It could be 396 million, and it went up, like 56 million. So how do we account for that? Well, we do common size, and here's what the secret is. We're going to take total assets and make it 100%, and everything else is a component of that 100%. So let me show you how to do it. It's really easy. I'm on Excel, so it's going to be much easier. You can do this by hand, of course, but you don't want to watch me do things by hand. So I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to put down here, I'm going to put the entire balance sheet. Now I'm going to wipe out the dollar amounts, and I'm going to put in the percentages. So I'm going to format this before I get started. I'm going to format everything for percent with 1 decimal. I think that should work. So here's what we're going to be able to do. I'm going to take everything divided by the total assets in this column, so the 453,500, and then everything in this column is divided by the 396. So let's get started. Let me show you how to do it here on this first one. So we're going to take the 24,000 divided by the 453. Okay, now I want to make it where that 453 doesn't change. So I need to do F4, so I have dollar sign. You see dollar sign D, dollar sign 14, that's the absolute. So relative means it's going to go from D8 to D9, so it's going to go from the cash on down to the accounts receivable and so on. So let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to hit enter, so it's 5.3%. So if you do it on your calculator, 24,000 divided by 453,500, you get 0.053. So now we've got this entire column, so I'm going to copy it all the way down, and I'm going to get rid of the formatting, so fill without formatting. Maybe you can see that there. And so what we see is if assets are 100%, I've got 2 zeros I don't need. If assets are 100%, then cash is 5% of that, and accounts receivable is 20%. The total current assets are 44, almost 45%. Same thing down here. So you can see everything is a component of total assets. And because the balance sheet has to balance, then we have everything is a component of liabilities and equity. So accounts payable makes up 25.8% of the total liabilities and equity. We're going to do the same thing with the column to the right, the 2029 number. I'm going to take the cash number, the 37,000, divided by the 396. I need to make that absolute. So that's 9.4%. And then I can bring it all the way down. In fact, let me give myself a little more space because I'm going to show you fill without formatting, and it puts all the lines in there. So everything's formatted. It's formatted just like it is up above. So what we see is now we're looking at total assets. So it takes out the size of the total assets and just has the relative components of the total assets. So this is important. So the question was, what item is most responsible for the increase going from 396 to 453 in assets? Well, you can kind of look at it or whatever, but now is cash. Cash actually went down as a relative component, right? Inventory went up a little bit, but this went from 13.3 to 20.3, so it went up 7 percentage points based on total assets, and the total assets went up. So what item is most responsible? It's going to be the accounts receivable. So I'm going to highlight the accounts receivable. That's our answer here. Which one is most responsible for the liabilities going up? Well, what are our liabilities? We only have two, accounts payable and notes payable, long-term notes payable. Long-term notes payable went down a little bit as a percentage. So let's look at the long-term notes payable. Now, 87,400 to 99,200, it actually went up in absolute terms, but because the assets went up, it only accounts for 21.9. So it went down slightly. It stayed about the same, right? But it went down slightly based on the relative value, the size of the total liabilities and equity. Okay? So what caused the increase in liabilities? Accounts payable went up. So this is how you do common size. Remember, on common size income statement, the revenue or sales are the largest. That's 100%. On a balance sheet, total assets is 100%, which means that total liabilities and equity are also 100%. So this is how you do common size analysis on a balance sheet. Hey, thanks for watching. Check us out on the next video. I've got a full playlist on this managerial accounting, learning to do it by problems.